Hey everybody, it's Andrew Ings with Golf Academy. As always, a very warm welcome to the channel. If it's the first time watching some of my videos, especially a warm welcome to you. And if you like the content, maybe you could do me a great favor. Consider hitting that subscribe button. And if you think the video is any good, you could give it one of those thumbs up. It just helps the channel. So, for those of you who are regulars to my channel, you will know that I am Ping's #1 fan. I've been working with Ping for 25 years, maybe more than that, maybe 30 years actually. And here at my academy in Tring, most of my custom fit is done through Ping. Every day, most days, people come in to try a driver, a fairway wood, a hybrid, a set of irons, and I do lots of custom fit. And I have a really great relationship with Ping. Recently, we had the new 10K driver released, and it's been out a little while now. And the reason for my delay in posting the video is I'm a little bit undecided about this driver. As much as I want to love it, I don't really love it. And I want to tell you why. It's a great driver, don't get me wrong. But remember, in the present G430 range, we've got the Max, which is like where most of the sales come from. We've got the SF Tech, which is a very heavily draw biased driver. We'll put little images up there as I talk about them. For the golfer who tends to slice it or lose the ball to the right, for a right-handed golfer, the SF Tech's a game changer. It really does keep that ball flight straighter. And then you've got the LS Tech, the low spin, which tends to suit obviously people who generate lots of backspin, but generally suits people who are swinging the club a little bit faster. And that has the carbon crown on it. And then we've got the 10K. So what does 10K stand for? 10K is a measurement which manufacturers can get off a club for the MOI. MOI stands for moment of inertia. Basically, there's a lot of technical stuff out there and you can go and read about it. I'm not going to bore you to death, but basically with MOI, the higher the MOI is, the more resistance to twisting and the more forgiving the club becomes on the off-center hits. I've been testing the 10K for me personally. You've got to remember that what I'm going to tell you today is for me personally. For you to go and do the fitting, you may have a completely different experience because golf's very individual, isn't it? I think the G430 Max is the best driver I've ever hit in terms of forgiveness, distance, everything about it. And when the 10K driver came out, I was struggling to think, how can something be better than the Max driver, the G430? So I've been testing this to death, and every time I do a little head-to-head comparison with it, I get the same results. So if you want to find out a little bit more about the 10K driver, how it's built, jump on the website. Rather than me blabbing away about it, we'll just give you the bullet points. The difference between the 10K and the Max head is that we've got this carbon fly wrap on the top. Carbon on the top rather than titanium saves them a lot of weight, which they can reposition to give it this high MOI. The big difference is on the back weight. All the other drivers, we have a movable back weight. On the 10K, we've got the fixed weight here, which sits in the middle. Now, they had to keep the weight in the middle to give it this high MOI. If you started moving it around into the toe of the heel, I think that lost them a little bit of MOI. So that's why the weight. And this is one of my slight issues about this driver, is that we don't have the movable weight. So let's just give you this scenario. Again, you're the sort of golfer who comes in for a fitting, you hit a nice ball, the ball gets to the top of its flight, and then it starts to bend a little bit to the right. I could take a maxed head. Let me just grab one, actually. I could take a max head and put the weight setting into draw. You can see how I could move the weight into the draw set. That would take off a little bit of side spin. Not a lot, but enough to maybe keep that ball straighter, and I could give you a straighter ball flight with a little bit more distance. With the 10K, I can't do that. I can't put it into a draw setting. I can always keep it neutral. So for that golfer who's swinging maybe a little bit out to him, face open, we can't get that technology to work. So it's just in a neutral set. Let me show you some numbers. These are numbers which I did today. And what I tried to do, it's very hard unless you're have a robotic swing which can reproduce shot after shot. I was really fair. I hit lots of shots and I got 7 shots which I thought were comparable with each. So I have been as transparent as I can on this. The red dots are the G430 Max here, and these bluey dots here are the 10K. Let's show you some data to back this up. So let's go first of all into some comparisons. So here we've got the G430 Max, and we can look here first of all at ball speeds. You may not see these numbers because they're a little bit lighter, but I'll shout them out for you, and I'll maybe pan in for it so you can see it. I basically had a 139.3 average ball speed with the G430 Max. If I just scroll down a fraction, the average ball speed with the 10K was 138.3. So bar 1 mile an hour, incredibly similar. You look at my launch angles, 14.3 with the Max, 14.2 with the 10K. You look at my backspin rates, 2435 with the Max, 2507 with the 10K. You look at offline, remember that these have been averaged out, 2.2 offline, 7.9 offline. More interesting stats for you are the carry distances. 233 average carry with the Max, 231 with the 10K. So when you look at those numbers, they're incredibly similar, aren't they? And if we do the comparison here on my foresight, this has taken all the data again. Ball speed, as we just said a minute ago, nothing in it. Launch angle, nothing in it. Backspin, nothing in it. Carry distance, nothing in it. Very, very similar, isn't it? Let's look at club data. Efficiency, you know, what's sometimes called smash factor, 1.39 with the Max, 1.37 with the 10K. Head speed, nothing in it. Dynamic loft, dynamic lies, face angles, attack angles, all very similar. This was the average strike location. I've got both pretty centered strikes. So for me, I couldn't tell any difference between these two clubs. For me, they were both performing brilliantly, but there was no difference. Now, here's the kicker. I sell the Max for £469. The 10K is £549. So we don't have to be an Einstein to work out that that's another £80 more expensive than the Max. I personally, I'm not seeing £80 worth of improvement in the 10K. Just doesn't do it for me. I know there are lots of YouTubers out there and lots of golfers who are seeing the benefit of it much more than I do. They're seeing more distance, they're seeing better dispersion, they're seeing just across the board a big improvement. And I'm not for 1 minute saying that they're not getting that. I mean, I would trust these guys implicitly. So to sum up, for me personally, 10K and the Max both did the same job. The only way you people watching this video can decide is to go to a ping fitting center, hit the Max. I had this exactly the same setup. I had them both set to 10.5. I had the Tour 2.0 chrome shaft in there in stiff in both heads. I did have the Max head set in slight draw bias position because I was losing a few shots to the right. That was helping keep the ball straight. Remember, I can't do that on the 10K. Go and try it for yourself. Go and do a comparison. And if you see better numbers from the 10K than you get from the Max, then maybe it's worth buying the 10K. As always, I've tried to be as honest and as transparent as I can with these things. I'm not for 1 minute saying that the 10K isn't a great driver, because it is. Just for me, it didn't improve things from the Max. I think the Max is amazing. So there you go. I will leave that with you. Any of you tried the Max compared to the 10K? Love to hear your results, because it's you that matters, not me. I'm just here to kind of give you my take on it. I'd love to hear if anyone's bought the 10K who had the Max. If you're seeing an improvement or not, then let us know and we can find out a little bit more about it. Thanks for watching the video today. My name's Andrew Ainsworth. All the best. Bye for now.